Morning, friends. Now we are discussing geothermal energy in this session. What is geothermal energy? Geo means earth, so thermal means heat. So the heat which is radiating from the earth's core in the billions of years, which since from the formation of the earth, so will be called as the geothermal energy. So that heat is derived within the subsurface of the earth. So water and steam will carry the geothermal energy to the earth surface. So this geothermal energy is contained in the rocks and the fluids below the earth's crust. So that fluid will be called as the molten magma, the earth's hot rock, which is in the molten state. So geothermal power plants. So other power plants, most of them are fueled by fossil fuels like coal, gas, and nuclear power, or the geothermal energy. So that whether you are using coal, gas, or any other form of energy, so finally heat will be converted to electricity. So here the heat what is obtained from the earth. So this heat energy is accessed by drilling the water or by drilling the steam wells. In the same process as the earth is drilled to get the oil extracted. So these geothermal power plants will be common with traditional power generating stations. So these plants are also having the same components what other power plants have, including turbines, generators, transformers, and other power generating equipments. We have the short video here showing the geothermal power plant. We'll have a look.
You may have relaxed in a natural hot springs pool, or seen the old faithful geyser blasting hot water into the air in Yellowstone National Park. But have you ever thought of where all that heat comes from? Well, it comes from deep beneath the surface of the Earth, and it's called geothermal energy. And we can use it to generate clean, renewable electricity. Okay, here's how geothermal works. Heat from the Earth's crust warms water that is seeped into underground reservoirs. In some places, when water becomes hot enough, it can break through the Earth's surface as steam or hot water. This usually happens where the Earth's crust or plates meet and shift. In the past, taking advantage of geothermal energy was limited to areas where hot water flowed near the surface. But as geothermal technologies advance, we can leverage even more of these natural, renewable energy sources. Engineers have developed a few different ways to produce power from geothermal wells drilled into the ground. Have a look at this. It's a dry steam geothermal power plant, and it's the most common type of geothermal technology used today. Underground steam flows directly to a turbine to drive a generator that produces electricity. Pretty straightforward. Another geothermal technology is called a flash steam power plant. A pump pushes hot fluid into a tank at the surface, where it cools. As it cools, the fluid flashes, or quickly turns into vapor. The vapor then drives a turbine and powers a generator. A binary cycle plant works differently. It uses two types of fluid. Hot fluid from underground heats a second fluid, called a heat transfer fluid, in a giant heat exchanger. The second fluid has a much lower boiling point than the first fluid, and so it flashes into vapor at a lower temperature. When the second fluid flashes, it spins a turbine that drives a generator. The environmental benefits of this clean, round-the-clock, renewable energy source are substantial. Low emissions, small physical footprint, and minimal environmental impact. The few byproducts that can come up are often re-injected underground. Geothermal energy can also help recycle wastewater. In California, wastewater from the city of Santa Rosa is injected into the ground to generate more geothermal energy. Some plants do produce solid waste, but that solid waste may contain minerals that we can remove and sell, which lowers the cost of this energy source. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates that untapped geothermal resources in the United States, if developed, could supply the equivalent of 10% of today's energy needs and cut our dependence on fossil fuels. In fact, electricity generated by geothermal energy already provides about 60% of the power along the Northern California coast, from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Oregon state line. Geothermal energy, helping to push America toward energy independence and a clean, renewable way to meet our growing energy demands.
Types of this geothermal plant. So dry steam plant. So they use dry steam. So that is naturally produced in the ground here. So this dry steam will travel from the production well to the surface, and it is passing through the turbine here, and after transferring the energy possessed by this steam to the turbine, so this steam will be passed to the condenser, so where it gets condensed and injected back into the earth here. Then flash cycle steam plants. So here the water will be under the temperature of 180 degrees centigrade. So under its own pressure, so it flows upwards through the well here. So here as the pressure of this water decreases, so some of the water flashes to the stream here. So this is passed through the turbine section. So here that water, so that is flashing into the steam. So that is getting boiled and converted to steam. So under the low pressure, so that steam converted steam will be passed through the turbine here. So the remaining water, so that is getting separated. Did not which did not become the steam is cycled back here down into the well. So and it will be used for heating purpose. Then binary cycle plants. So here these plants will use the secondary loop. That's why we have the name binary here. So which contains the fluid with a low boiling point. Uh, so the fluid is now used is the pentane or butane. So the water from the well will flow through the heat exchanger here, uh, so which transfer its heat. The heat from this heat exchanger will be transferred to this fluid pentane or butane. It's vaporized due to its low boiling point. Then that is passed through the turbine. So that turbine in turn connected to the generator, which generates electricity.